Well, Kirby Smart's done something that it took Georgia nearly 10 years to do. What's that? I'll tell you right now. Getting you ready for this Georgia-Alabama game. Huge contest for the Dogs and tied both number 2 and 3 in the country. Dean Legge from Dog Post, making you a smarter Georgia fan. Thanks for watching. Thanks for signing up for our newsletter. And when you think about the success that Georgia's had under Kirby Smart, it's been pretty significant. Conference championship, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl championships, a spot in the national championship game. But really, when you look at what he's done at Georgia in terms of wins in the conference, only Georgia and Alabama have done this these last 3 years. Georgia has won 17 games by at least 20 points in league play since 2017. Alabama's won 18. So the Dogs with all three of their games this year as 20-point wins. Alabama with one so far. I don't think anybody's expecting this next game to be a 20-point win for either side. But with that said, it took Georgia from 2007 until the end of the 2016 season to win 17 games by 20 points in the SEC. I'm going to read off to you the games that Georgia has won in that time. 2017 Mississippi State, 17 Tennessee, 17 Vanderbilt, 17 Missouri, 17 the Gators, 17 Kentucky, SEC championship game in 2017 against Auburn, 2018 South Carolina, 18 Tennessee, 18 Vanderbilt, 19 Vanderbilt, 19 Tennessee, 19 Kentucky, 19 Mizzou, 20 Arkansas, 20 Auburn, and 20 Tennessee. Georgia's beaten Tennessee the last 4 times by 20 points or more. The most beaten, the opponent that both Bama and Georgia have faced the most and defeated by 20 points or more in that time, 7 times the Tennessee Vols have lost to Alabama and or Georgia by 20 points in a game. So a rough go for the Vols, but that just shows the sort of dominance that both of these two schools have had. 2 of the last 3 conference champions have been Georgia and Alabama. Obviously LSU in there. They certainly had plenty of dominance in their time as well when they were playing a season ago. Not so dominant right now at 1 and 2. So this is a huge game. But putting this into perspective, that's a lot of 20-point wins. And when you think about how difficult and good the SEC is to win that many, and this is not the ACC, where maybe right now it's getting some momentum. It's been bad for about 6 years. This is a conference that has produced 2 of the last 3 national champions. This is, you want to talk about the SEC East, okay, the SEC West doesn't look a lot better than SEC East right now, and it hasn't looked a lot better, really, generally speaking, lately. I mean, the two leagues, divisions have been pretty good, pretty solid lately. So, all that notwithstanding, 17 wins in something like 40 games. It took Georgia, more than 140 games before that to get to the 17, 20-plus point wins. That's an astonishing accomplishment from Kirby. And I think that's the thing that is, it's in plain sight. People don't think about it. And you watch the Tennessee game this past week and you say, well, Georgia, that first half was ugly. It was ugly, and they won by more than 20 points. You start thinking about the Arkansas game. That first half was ugly. They won that game by more than 20 points. Auburn, first half was pretty good. The whole game was pretty good. Won by more than 20. So it's hard to lose. It's hard to lose when you are winning games by 20 points or more. I know that sounds crazy, but it just shows how dominant Georgia has been in the SEC against everyone but basically Alabama and LSU. Auburn has beaten Georgia once since Kirby's been there. That was a blowout too. They've been blown out several times since. I mean, I would call this past game a blowout. I would call the 2017 SEC Championship game a blowout. I don't know that you could really call the 18 game a blowout, but it was completely decisive. And it was decided in the second half just the same way the blowout in 17 was decided. The other thing about this Alabama game, too, and I'm going to talk about this over time this week, but is these two teams, a lot of Georgia fans with Alabama winning the last 5 games over a span from 2008 until now, a lot of Georgia fans focus on that, which is, what Georgia fans do. They focus on the negative, the inner Larry Munson. But when you look at this series dating back to the 80s, this game is decided on the last play of the game, not just more often than not, but the vast majority of the time. I'll go through it slowly here so that we can get on the same page. 1986, Georgia-Bama. Georgia wins the season before in Birmingham. 1986, play decided on the last play of the game. 1990, play decided on the last play of the game. 1991, dogfight. 94, last play of the game. 2002, last play of the game. 2003, blowout. 2007, last play of the game. 2008, blowout. 2012, last play of the game. 2015, blowout. 2017, last play of the game. 2018, last play of the game. That's a lot of last play of the games. That's not common in college football or athletics. I mean, think about how many times have Duke and Carolina come down to the last play of the game. And they don't, to be fair, Georgia and Alabama don't exactly play all the time. But when they do, they definitely make it worth your while to watch. Make sure to join our mailing list. It's right there. I want to point to it. We appreciate all the people signing up for it. And we'll see you on the website. And we'll see you in these next few videos.